This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence. It would be the biggest dream come true of my life for this to one day be on shelves in bookstores. Failure is a natural part of the creative process. I really want this draft to be good. I really want it to be as polished as it can be. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today is currently Monday. The fact that I needed to check my phone to work out what day of the week it is already a concern. It is Monday today and I'm kicking off this week by filming a writing vlog. I just got a whole bunch of filming stuff done for Patreon. It's only 10 a.m. and I've already gotten a whole bunch of things ticked off my to-do list, so I feel pretty good, and I'm gonna spend the rest of the day today writing. I think it's been a little while since I last filmed a Project Teacup writing vlog. If you're new here, hello, my name is Christy. I am currently working on an adult fantasy novel called Project Teacup. I fast drafted the novel a few months ago. I got the novel up to 80,000 words, I think it was, and now I am rewriting the whole second draft pretty much. I've never written a story this way, but this feels like the way that this story needs to be written, and I'm hoping that I can have a really solid writing week this week, because the last few weeks, wait, that's the wrong version. Where is my other one? Just a little bit of a segue before we get into the official writing vlog, although this is still a part of writing because A Year in Tōkyō, which is the book that I released as an ebook at the beginning of this year, like obviously as a book too, I did write it. I have been spending the last few weeks working out how to make this book into a self-published paperback book. Today, the final proof has arrived of the paperback of A Year in Tōkyō, so this is really, really exciting. This is going to be out on October the 16th. I feel like everything's really coming together at the moment because a couple of days ago, the borders were announced for Japan that they are finally properly opening from October. It just makes it really exciting because we're going to be going on a trip to Japan next year in May. I'm going to be taking a group of people to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. We're going to be doing so much fun stuff. There's a link in the description down below if you want more info. All of the Japan stuff just feels like it's coming together at the moment. But yes, this is going to be on sale in October from the 16th of October. If everything goes correctly, that is the date that this should be on sale. I am super duper excited because it's been quite a process for me organizing the paperback of this. But because this is now ready to go, very excitingly, ready to go, my little self-published paperback book, I can now get back to working on the novel that I've been working on. So let's grab some tea and head to my desk and we can start writing for the day. This draft that I'm working on, draft 2 of Project Teacup, is currently sitting at 36,612 words, and that's been moving pretty slowly the last few weeks, as I mentioned, because I've been bogged down with doing the paperbacking of A Year in Tōkyō. Now that that seems to be all out of the way, that seems to all be done, it's good to go, I'm really hoping that I can buckle down and get a lot of work done on Project Teacup this week. I'm hoping that today I can hopefully do 2,000 words-ish. We'll see how we go. I feel like I might write a little bit more than normal because whenever I take a really big break from writing, it's been a week and a half, 2 weeks since I've really properly sat down and written. I always write way more in that first session back because I'm really excited to get back to writing. I've been trying this technique recently where before I start writing, even though I already have an outline for the story, I sit down and I just go over everything I want to write. I spend 5 minutes just writing down what I want to do, and that right before I took my break has been really helpful for bumping up my word count, reducing the amount of time I spend umming and ahhing about what I want to do. I'm currently at the end of my first hour of work, and I think that my instincts were probably right. I have written in an hour about 1,200 words. I've had a lot of problems with this, well, not problems is probably not fair, but with this specific section of the story, let's say the 30% mark to the 50% mark, I've kind of been having a little bit of, maybe like anxiety is the best word for it. I'm nervous that it's not engaging enough. I'm nervous that it's not grabby enough. And I know that when I write a story, it's like the first draft is always going to be really, really bad, and the second draft is not going to be as good, and like you go through and you add layer upon layer, and you know sort of get there slowly. But I really want this draft to be good. I really want it to be as polished as it can be. I'm sort of like problem solving this very specific part of the story without giving away too much. So when we have like a really big story like this, I think it's really important to understand what the character motivations are, where we want the story to be going, so that the reader has a sense of like progression, and all this kind of stuff is really important. And I was a little bit worried that basically this like one specific section of the book isn't really good enough yet, and I kind of need to change a few things. So I've been a bit anxious about that, because I don't want to write in the wrong way, and I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time, because I am impatient and I do want to get this story done. You know, writing and rewriting and going through all the different pathways is really essential. I was watching a Donna Tartt interview, and as you guys know, I really liked Donna Tartt's novels. I think she's very talented, and she writes so slowly. Like, she takes about 10 years to write each novel, and one of the missteps she took in The Goldfinch basically meant that she wrote in the wrong direction for like many tens of thousands of words. And because of how slowly she works, that meant that she had to go and erase 8 months worth of work, which for her, the way she spoke about it, that was essential to finding the pathway she needed to find for the story. And those words weren't wasted because it helped her to understand her characters more. And all of that is completely, of course, like completely necessary. You know, the idea of writing in the wrong direction is always really scary. I think with this stage of like where the novel's currently sitting, I think it needs a little bit of rejigging, and I've sort of been doing a little bit of that as well, consolidating a couple of chapters, because I'm finding that as I work on this story, it's taking me more and more words to describe these certain things and to get through these certain story elements. And I don't want to get too bogged down and make this book like 200,000 words long, because I am very capable of doing that. I've just been basically fiddling around with the outline just now and trying to write really concisely, and I feel like I'm on the right track. Like, I feel like this 30 to 50% mark is going to be a real slog, but I think that once I'm over that sort of hump, it's going to be a lot easier. Hello, VoiceOver Christy here to thank the outstanding sponsor of this video, Squarespace. Squarespace is a website builder that makes it incredibly simple to create stunning and dynamic websites. Not only is Squarespace a dream to set up in the first place, it's also super easy to update and maintain. I mentioned a few times before that I added a shop to my site a few months ago, which was such a simple and quick process. I didn't even need a single tutorial. The whole thing was very intuitive, and it was just wonderful from start to finish. Squarespace also has powerful blogging tools and in-depth analytics to help you understand the people who are visiting your site. If you're looking to make a website, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ChristyAnnJones to save 10% off your purchase of a website or domain. It is now far later in the day. I ended up getting really bogged down in writing today, but I had a very good writing day. God, when did I check in with you guys? After I've been writing for an hour? I think I'd done like 1,200 words, but some of those words were changing some of the like outlining that I'd done. In the end, today I wrote 4,090 words, and my word count is currently sitting at 40,702. So that means that we have cracked 40,000 words today, which is really great. Because I fast drafted the first draft so quickly, I only wrote 80,000 words. I'm kind of planning for this second draft to be about 120,000, and then by the time the novel is finally finished, I want it to be back down around 100,000. The reason why I did it this way is because I am basically a chronic overwriter. I will write way too much. I'll get too into it. I know that I can just write in the wrong direction. I can write too much imagery. I can spend too much time on magic and different stuff like that. So I want to make sure that I'm on task, not getting distracted by things I shouldn't get distracted affected by. Very conscientious of this as I'm writing and not creating the problems that I had in the last novel I worked on that I submitted to publishers which did not get published. I'm trying to be really, really mindful of the big picture and trying to see the forest through the trees, trying to see the overall structures. You know, it's very, very easy to polish a single paragraph. It's very easy to write a page and to like fiddle around with it and then to be happy with it. When you're working on something that's 100,000 pages long, it's a lot to wrap your mind around. It's a lot to juggle. I don't know if it was Hemingway who came up with this. God, if I'm referencing Hemingway's like writing advice in this vlog, I'm sorry, but I think it was him who mentioned the iceberg theory with a novel. Like the reader only sees the tip of the iceberg, but the person writing the story has the other like 80% beneath the surface of stuff they need to know of subtext. But I love this process. I love the enormity of writing a story like this. I love having so much space to play around with characters and imagery and theme. Like I really, really genuinely love this medium, but it is quite stressful trying to juggle everything and make it good and make it the best version it can be, basically. It's a fun time, but it's a little bit of a stressful time. Fingers crossed we can have another really good writing day tomorrow, because today went very well. So the absolute truth with writing stories is that the actual process of writing a novel is it's not very glamorous. It is boring. Like not, okay, sorry. For the person writing it, it's not boring. For someone watching a person write a big story like this, it's literally just me sitting here typing. Most of the problem solving is not visual. Well, basically none of the problem solving is visual. It's all happening inside my head. Very much not something I can show, because I hope that maybe one day, if I'm lucky enough, this story will be published, and I really want this story to be published in a traditional sense, which means that I have to be really careful about not sharing spoilers or giving anything away. You know, I can't tell you about specific I can't tell you about specific stuff to do with the plot, to do with the characters, because they're all subject to change, and it would be the biggest dream come true of my life for this to one day be on shelves in bookstores. I do my best to make these vlogs fun and cinematic because I love cinematography, and that's part of video making and creativity for me, but I don't want to romanticize the creative process, and I don't want to pretend that this is always easy for me and that I'm writing 4,000 words a day every single day. The truth of today is Tuesday. Hello, I forgot to introduce that at the beginning. The truth of today is that I had a really difficult night last night, which I'm not going to get into, but I really want to write today. I really want to be creative today, and it is not working for me. I feel tired. I can't concentrate. Today is a challenge. But the thing is that I really, really want to keep writing today. I've only written like 500-600 words. I'm second guessing everything. I feel really like I'm really struggling to problem solve, and today it's frustrating. Today the process is really challenging, and it's very daunting working on something like this. You have to really, really believe in yourself, and you have to be comfortable that you're sinking thousands of hours into something that, you know, maybe the world will never see, but that's part of the process of writing. I used to have a writing lecturer who would say that writing is an act of faith, and he said that in like a non-religious way. It's an act of faith that people are one day going to read your work. It's an act of faith that it's going to work out for you and it's going to be successful. And the process of writing and trying to be published traditionally is that everything you work on is a massive gamble. It takes so many thousands of hours of work, and you just have to plug away at it and do your best. And I'm so comfortable with that now. This goal, this dream is so important to me that I'm like, okay, if this book doesn't get published, if this one gets rejected as well, on to the next book, on to the book after that, on to the book after that. If I write a book every like year and a half until I'm 80 and none of them ever get published, at least I was still, you know, doing something that I loved. At least I gave it everything, you know. Like I do believe that this is a resilience game, and I do, you know, genuinely believe in my soul that I'm gonna get there one day. But yeah, today is a challenging day. I have ingredients to make lemon and white chocolate shortbread, and baking is something that brings me so much joy, and I was planning on making this shortbread tonight after work. That was my plan, but you know what, it's like 11 a.m. and I'm gonna go make some shortbread, and that's gonna be part of my creative process for today. I'm gonna go make that shortbread, and then if I can I'll come back and try and get a little bit more writing done. And if I really can't do it, I will call it for today and go and do my other work, because I have a lot of other work to get done today. Not every day is going to be productive. Not every day is going to be 4,000 words. Not every day is going to be the day that you write your magnum opus. Let's go make some shortbread. The shortbread is all done. This is the most slapped together shortbread I've ever made. It's a little bit overcooked. I misread the recipe. I wasn't really paying attention. I was like listening to my music really loudly. I misread the instructions, and the oven was supposed to be on 150 degrees, but I put it on 180 degrees and only realized 10 minutes in that it was supposed to be a lower temperature. The least aesthetically pleasing shortbread that I've ever made, but it looks perfect. So I'm gonna give this a go. That is my procrastinating all done. I'm gonna get back to this story now. I'm gonna give it another go. If it's really not working for me today, if I really feel like the words are just not coming out, I will go on with something else. As I said, I have a lot of work to do. It's a really busy week this week for me, but give this another go. Let's see if I can get some more writing done today. Hello and happy Wednesday. It is another grey and dreary day today. It has rained so much this past week. Yesterday, okay, I'm gonna go sit at my desk and I can explain to you what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a failure work-wise. Hello, you can see my washing next to me. Just ignore that. This is my office nook, and it is also the place where we dry the clothes in this house. Yesterday was a bit of a failure, but that is okay. I didn't write very many words at all. Deleted a lot of what I wrote. So really the progress I made yesterday was absolutely negligible. However, I think as soon as we accept the fact that failure is a natural part of the creative process, the healthier we will be. There is no shame in failure. And I think when you're a creative person, when you're trying to make creative stuff and you hope to make a career out of your creativity, I think you need to be really comfortable with the idea of failure and not getting stuff done. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. Like, I had a bad writing day yesterday. Like, that's not such a big deal. But just as like a general thing, like when you're making creative stuff, like no matter what industry you're in, whether you're a board game designer or you're an illustrator or you're an aspiring author, you're gonna pitch stuff that's gonna be knocked back, and that's okay. That's just a part of the process of making creative stuff. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how productive you are, there are gonna be days where you don't get stuff done, and that is absolutely fine. So today is a new day. Let's see how we go with writing today. I'm gonna start at this desk, but after yesterday being what it was, lots and lots of frustration, and then me eventually giving up and going and working on other stuff. I got some Patreon stuff done, I did some editing, and was still productive, but just in a completely different area of like what I do. I'm gonna give it a go working at this desk. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write my little summary of what I wanna work on today, and then if that doesn't work, I will go sit up in the lounge room and see if a change of scenery works better for my productivity. It tends to happen that way for me. This chair, the standing desk, this setup is obviously a lot more ergonomic. It's much better for my posture and for my neck and all that stuff, but we'll see how my productivity goes. I will try and get some work done here, and I will let you guys know how that goes. I very much tried working at the desk. I'm writing a little bit, I'm writing bits and pieces, but I am actually gonna go move to the couch and go set up in a different room. It is wild how just moving, let's say 4 meters, I think, directly that way can like really have a positive effect on my work. I think just sitting in a different spot like resets my brain, and I really do like working from my tablet as well. I'm gonna grab some tea. Let's change the scenery. let's see if I can write a bit more here, a bit more easily and fluidly. I always listen to the same playlist. It's like the same hour-long musical compilation of like the same instrumental songs. In order to get into the same headspace, I have to have the same music, and the music generally can't have words. It has to be instrumental, otherwise I'll get distracted. Or if it's a song I've listened to enough, then I don't really hear the words. Anyway, I've got this one playlist, which I'm not sure if I'll share it. I don't know if it gives too much away, but eventually I'll probably share what the playlist was. It is currently 4:56 p.m. We are all done for today. In the end, it was a successful writing day. I managed to get a lot of progress. I managed to make a lot of progress. I can use my words. I know how to English. I wrote, let me pull up my spreadsheet. Look, at this point, I just about have a spreadsheet for everything. Today, I reached 43,136 words. We're almost at the halfway-ish point for this. It means that I wrote around 2,400 words today, but as I mentioned, there was a lot of editing of yesterday's work, and it's not always linear. When you're working on the second draft, you have to go back, and as I've mentioned, there's a lot of problem solving. But for me, writing is not just putting your thoughts down on the paper. It's an iterative process. You're constantly building on your words, what you've got, the story, deepening things, adding foreshadowing, adding character development, linking together themes. Like, it's such an intricate, fun, windy, labyrinthine process that I love to absolute bits. It's probably the last of the writing I'm gonna get done this week. I dream of there being a day, one day, where the bulk of my work is doing writing stuff, but this week I have a lot of other work I need to get done. I'm probably not gonna get time to work on writing tomorrow or Friday. I have another workshop at the library coming up, so I need to prepare for that, and I have editing stuff to do, content creation stuff to do, just a whole bunch of non-writing related things. So today is probably the last day of this vlog. Just to remind you guys, we're going on a trip to Japan in May next year. I'm so excited. The borders are now finally open. If the borders hadn't have opened by May 2023, we were going to push back the trip. We would have found a way. We would have made it work somehow. But the fact that the borders now open, it is such a relief. I am so excited. It's really funny that most of the growth of my channel has happened since I moved home to Australia. So I think a lot of people who are new to this channel are not familiar at all that I used to live in Japan, that I love Japan, that a lot of my content on this channel used to be Japan vlogs. And so this is just probably like completely out of nowhere, but like I'm thrilled. We do have a limited number of spots left, so if you're interested in coming with us to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka in May next year, please click the link in the description down below to find out more really exciting stuff coming up. The paperback of A Year in Tokyo is coming up very, very soon. It is a very, very exciting time. Thank you so very much for watching this vlog. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting my channel and for making these videos possible. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.